like, can people actually comment and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like, I know. Okay.
Yeah, but we can't see them, so
We
you're gonna
don't
have to
see
read
them.
his, because we always take off
I
that
sometimes
little...
pull it up on my computer, because I can do that.
Oh,
but
that's a good idea,
if I
yeah.
see something, but
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, Brandi and I are back. We're continuing timeline playthrough, and we're starting some Revelations, and we have a super awesome special guest who's going to join
Yay!
us for
Hey,
the
you
run.
guys.
Yeah.
Automatic here. What's up?
What's up? I personally say we have a guest that Josh, you should honestly go into like comedy as like your career choice, because you're just like so witty and funny, like the things that you think of sometimes, like in response to things either on Twitter or whatever. I'm just like, wow. So that this will be very entertaining.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Should we just do a regular new game or do new game plus? I'm fine with whatever.
Oh, I don't have New Game Plus. So, I do. No. No, I did, but it says continue too. So I guess I'm just gonna do New Game, because this. No,
Okay.
we gotta be fair. We gotta do new game, so we don't have all the weapons.
I'm hitting new game now.
Okay, me too.
Autosave will be lost. Yeah, sure.
Normal, casual, or normal.
Normal. All right, yeah, I hit
No,
normal.
I've seen infernal mode. That shit is, I hit it too.
Starting. Okay.
Oh, I wish we had the little Resident Evil facts. I love that RE5 does that, where it's like, in 1998, the mansion incident happened. I wish we had that. Oh, this opening cutscene. So, Josh, well, obviously you're watching, so you can kind of see, but you might be on there's probably a little bit of a delay, so I don't know, like, what you're actually seeing right
With
now.
the video, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now I'm seeing the tugboat in the Mediterranean Sea.
And then boobs.
And then
ew.
boobs. Yeah, and then boobs, and then ew.
Yeah, there you go.
So there we go. Oh my god, Josh, remember that wink though? That's all I'm gonna say. Do you remember that?
Oh my god.
Do you remember in our podcast? That podcast is so great. Oh my god. Yeah. Dylan and I watched that part the other day of your reaction to that wink, and we were crying. It was so funny. But the fact that you knew exactly what he was talking about, because Dylan was like, yeah, there's this part where like she winked, and you were like, oh my, like you knew exactly what we were talking about. It was so great.
And my voice was like cut out at that point because of the problem, but I had to include that in at the end there.
Yeah, because his reaction was too great.
Like, come on. She's trying to be all cute, and it just makes you want to throw up.
Oh my god. Honestly, like, that wink does kind of give me some PTSD, not gonna lie.
that wink!
I bet you Parker turned around and was just like, so a disgusted look on his face.
Yeah, Parker was probably like, oh, where's Jessica? She's hot at least.
I know. Having Jessica in this game next to Jill just makes her ugliness even more highlighted.
But it's really sad, because Jill's like the main bitch. Like, she's Jill Valentine. Come on. Know. And then I just don't feel like she is in this game.
I said something
controversial. Wow, did I mute my TV?
Yeah, no. I said something controversial to you, Brandi, in one of our last Resident Evil 4 streams, that I think that that Jessica's hotter than Julia Voth Jill.
Oh my god, we're not friends anymore. I forgot about that. Wait!
Hold on a second. Is that canon? Did you actually say that?
I said that, and I'll defend it by an inch. But I'll say that because Jessica is like unrealistic model hot, and Julia's a model, but Jessica just looks like a fucking. She could be.
Well, Excel is the same way, but I think Excel is really hot, but she's not hotter than Julia Voth Jill.
No. All right, what are these?
Oh, Josh, do you like Excella? Because she's like honestly one of my favorite. I know people like are probably like, what the fuck? Like, she's so like insignificant in comparison to some other like newer characters, but I just fucking love her because of her bitchiness and her Wesker fangirlness. She's like, she represents all us Wesker fangirls.
No, honestly, like as a character, I thought she was a great addition.
Me too.
I really did like her, and kind of like just her purpose in Resident Evil 5 was to basically.
Before you do the ship deck part in RE5, so it's like really it's right after you save Jill essentially, and there's a cutscene where Excella and Wesker are walking side by side, and she has sunglasses on too, and I'm like, yo, they look like the most badass couple in like, even though he like rejects her and wants nothing to do with her, well, at least in that moment he's like, fuck you bitch, like I want to focus on the work or whatever. Like, they look like such the most badass couple when they're just walking. I'm like, yeah. She's like a really good counterpart to Wesker, definitely.
No, for real. Like they really do. Like it almost looks like they're like going to like the red carpet premiere or something. Like
they do.
Like, and Excella, like she cracks me up all the time. Like her character, like she, like there's this one moment where I think Chris and Sheva had her like had the drop on her. They had her at gunpoint, and then
Oh yeah.
you know, she has like the the suitcase with the PG-670W vial thing or whatever, and then they're just like, oh, like you know, like tell us where Wesker is, you know, and then she's like, if you can behave yourselves, maybe I'll tell you.
Maybe I'll see you. And then she just fucks off. Yeah.
She just scurries away with her fucking stilettos, like.
Yeah. I do. I love it. Her whole character could be seen as maybe like, I don't know, to some people, like I've heard people say, oh, you know, she's one note and she's ridiculous and blah. But I just love her. And I don't think she's one note at all, because she's like, she clearly like got where she got to because she's smart in Tricell or whatever. But like, I do love that her whole character in RE5 is defined by like, I just want to fuck Albert Wesker. Like, I'll do it. And like, to me, that's fine. If that's her character, it fits. And her whole look with like the snotty girl bun, like I love like the bun and the open dress and the stiletto and the nails have to be done. Like there's that point where she like rubs Wesker's chest and you can see her nails are. I'm like, yeah, girl, you do you. I love it.
Like she's love like, the friendship, Excella. We love it. Okay. Oh my god.
I live for the French tips, Excella. Oh, I love it. Oh my god. I feel like this stream is really gonna this whole conversation, I guess I should say, is gonna consist a lot of just me asking you random questions about the series, and I'm sure Dylan might, because like Dylan and I talk so often, we know each other's opinions and stuff, and we have strong opinions on certain things, so it's going to be fun to be like, so what do you think of this character? What do you think of this thing? And we did that last time, but we mainly went into like how you got into the series, who your favorite characters, all that stuff. So I'm sure if we have other questions, this means you too, Dylan, when we're not in stressful situations, which I am right now.
Yeah.
I got grabbed because I was too busy.
I just got distracted by her straining face in the cutscene where it looks like
she looked like she was taking a poop.
And her lazy eye.
Wait, what are these things? Weakness again? Their hands or something? Like it's not their head. Oh,
I have no idea. And I realized
like somebody said if you shoot their
Parker
hands.
in a costume for some reason.
What? What the
From
fuck?
like
You can get
raid
him in
mode or something, or it changed for something else.
Oh wow. Okay, well I'm back in a cutscene. So anyway, so we talked about Excella. So Josh, and again Dylan, I don't want to be like the hog of this conversation. So when you think of things, you have to chime in as well. But I'm a talkative bitch, so this.
I know
this is
that about you.
I love that Dylan and I have been friends that long and we can be honest with each other. He knows. I talk too much, but see, at least I don't make it awkward and I get all quiet.
No worries.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I know that was was that a burn at me? Because I just ignored it.
Was that a burn? No, you can take it as that, but no.
Well,
it's
howdy,
fine.
the gel man. Whoever that is.
Who?
They commented.
Oh,
the
shit.
gel man. You can't see him on PS4 if that's what you look for, Josh.
No, I'm
on YouTube, right?
Tweeting the link right now.
Okay.
So after that, then I'll go to YouTube on my phone, and then I'll start to look at the comments and like read them to you guys and stuff like that, so you guys can see it too, I guess.
So we can be like, hey girl.
Yeah.
Or, hey dude. I don't know.
I like that they did something different besides fucking bombing the city. I always thought this little girl looked like Claire, like a little Claire.
Who?
The little
Which
red
one?
dress in the cutscene with the news report. She's got the brown hair and the
I'm
ponytail.
watching that now, and maybe I missed it.
But
Is
it looks like a little Claire to me.
Yeah,
But
maybe they did that on purpose.
I thought that I like that they didn't just bomb the city, but I thought this was a really weird fucking science fiction Aquapolis blown up from a satellite.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, look at Carrot Top.
I'm not
hate
too
this
Carrot
guy.
Top yet. You're spoiling me. But Brandi, you like
sorry.
this? The gel man said, Excella wants to bang Wesker. Wesker wants to bang Ouroboros.
Oh god.
Oh, that's true. It's sad but true. He has this hot girl right in front of him, and instead he wants to focus on his worm project or whatever the fuck.
What's one of the favorite things that I say, Brandi, that you find you just think it's incredibly whatever? I know.
What?
Just
now I'm curious.
With Wesker and Excella, I always say, he turned her down at that moment, but I believe that they've hooked up before.
Oh,
just
they
not when he's
definitely
super focused, but I always
when
just
Wesker,
picture him in they're in bed really rough, and he's just yelling his Chris
Oh my god!
He's getting out his frustrations.
And then she's like, what is he talking about?
No, she's just, she's used to it.
She's used to it.
Oh, dear God.
Oh my god. No, I agree with that though. I would like to think, and again, we're talking about totally fictional characters. I know that we're nerds, whatever, but I would like to think that Wesker and Excella also did bone a couple times. Just in that moment he was busy and he was like, fuck you girl, get away from me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's really funny. I told you, to think about the human side of things is funny. Like, even thinking about Wesker having sex with somebody is just like funny because he's just so like, I'm this powerful man god and I have to focus on my work at all times. But like, I think he did have Jake, so you know what? He's a freak on the low.
Yeah, honestly. When Resident Evil 6 dropped, and then it was like, oh yeah, this is Jake Mueller, the son of Wesker, and I was like, the son of who? Like, what? Like, excuse me? Because honestly though, like, early on when Resident Evil 6 first kind of like dropped their first trailer, because like literally there was no kind of like rumor mill the way that it is for like Resident Evil.
Right.
2.
No, that's true. That's true.
Like,
yeah.
They just literally just dropped that trailer out of nowhere.
And we were like, what the fuck? I remember that. Yeah.
So then, at that time, like they showed a lot of characters in the trailer. We saw Kristen Pierce, we saw Leah and Helena, and then we saw Sherry and Jake. But because they never said who those characters were, people were speculating.
Yes.
Like, oh, shit, this is probably Ashley and Steve Burns.
Yes, that's what people thought. I remember that. Yeah. Oh my God, Steve. Yeah.
And to be honest, I kind of low-key really wished it was Steve.
I thought that would have been cool. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, holy shit, are they actually going to like bring him back somehow? Like he actually didn't die like people thought. Like I thought that I remember people thinking that, holy shit, that's like time traveling in my brain, because I totally remember that like before we knew anything. It was like, and everybody thought that was Ashley for sure, and that's a shame because Sherry's like such a better character, but nobody thought that it was Sherry.
I understand why, because her voice, the pitch of her voice is similar to Ashley, to Caroline Lawrence, but I always thought, oh, poor Eden Regal, who voiced Sherry in 6, she was fantastic. Poor her, that's the first person they thought she was.
They thought, well, it's even the look, like she does kind of look like her, but not 100%, but she doesn't have the big ears.
No Donkey Dumbo.
Donkey Dumbo.
No ears going on.
Oh my God. But yeah, when we first found out it was I kind of forget when we first found out. Was that the second or third? There was another trailer that revealed he was Albert Wesker's son, right? Like, we knew that before the game dropped.
Yeah, was there a trailer where there was a cutscene where Carla said, Wesker's son, or whatever she said that in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
That cutscene that was in the trailer.
She's if I can remember correctly, she says something like, oh, your son, Albert Wesker was
Wesker Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, they called him that, yeah.
He's like, and he was also your father, and then he's like, my what? And he didn't know. Like, later on in the game, he's like ready to shoot Chris for killing him, and it's like, you just found out who your father was. Like,
I know. I was always kind of baffled by that, because Jake's like, oh yeah, you killed my dad, fuck you, but then he's like, I can't stand my father, I couldn't respect. Like, he says that to Sherry, so it's like, make up your mind. You're all pissed off because you didn't even know him. Like, I mean, it's his dad. I guess I should be a little more sensitive, but it still makes no sense to me. Like,
honestly.
Especially given who Wesker was. And then he's like, remember in that one cutscene, I think it's when they're in the locker room or whatever, when they're in wherever they are, where they go, China or something, where the freaking coronavirus is breaking out right now. But hey, that's the C virus! Holy shit! I just connected it. Coronavirus, C virus, China. Oh my god. Capcom was onto something. They knew. Anyway, as we're talking about RE6. Oh my god. But isn't there a moment when they're in that locker room, Jake and Sherry, where he's like, what is it? Where he's like, here I thought Dad was just a deadbeat that skipped out on us, but actually he was a freaking lunatic that tried to destroy the world. Like, he literally describes Albert Wesker in a nutshell there, and I fucking love it. Like, it's not just a deadbeat that left you and your mom. No, he actually just tried to take over the entire world and like make everybody his like slave because he was like a god and everything. It's hilarious. But I don't know. So, what do you think of Jake? I guess since we're on him, like, did